Okay, now this is your main cannon, disruptor cannon. This is the muzzle, this area is the breech. Your breech is where you load your shell into. Your breech bolt is what you screw into your cannon. Your electric round will have a bridge wire on it. That is for use with your breech bolt insert number 1, stamped one. If you're shooting standard primed ammunition, you want to select your breech bolt as either stamped with a 3 or a 5. This is a breech bolt 5. Okay. When selecting an electric round, first undo your wire completely. Straighten your wire out as much as possible. That way you can feed it through your breech bolt insert and your breech bolt with very little effort. Okay. Next, you want to remove your breech bolt from your cannon. Then you want to select your insert number 1 for electric shot. Screw your insert into your breech bolt by holding the breech bolt insert and spinning your breech bolt. Please note that there should be no gap between your breech bolt insert and your breech bolt. If there is any gap, between your breech bolt and insert, once fired, you can damage your insert. Make sure it is screwed down all the way so there is no gap. Notice no gap on your breech bolt insert. Next, you want to feed your wire to the bottom of your breech bolt and breech bolt insert completed. Feed your wire through and pull your shell so it's flush. Next, you want to insert your shell and breech bolt together. Screw your breech bolt down, making sure once again that there is no gap between your breech bolt and your cannon. We recommend, once you have made it flush, back it off and spin it tight so you have a good positive lockup. Now your cannon is ready to fire. Please note, when you're assembling your cannon, you do not leave your breech bolt with any gap. Make sure there's absolutely no gap between your breech bolt and your cannon. If there is a gap, it will lead to failure of your round. Make sure it's always locked down tight. Standard primed ammunition, make sure you select breech bolt insert number 3 or 5. You must have a breech bolt with 2 nylon opaque discs on them. These are magnets. First, take your insert and screw it into your breech bolt insert. Once again, hold your insert and spin your bolt, making sure that there is no gap once again between your breech bolt and your breech bolt insert. Next, once your breech bolt is inserted, then you can put your firing pin. A number 5 is a BB. Place your BB here, and now the magnets hold it back, so the BB will not fall out. Next, take your round, place your round in your cannon, set it flush. Then, spin your breech bolt on top. Once again, making sure that it locks up and it is flushed, no gap. Now you can take your shock tube, you insert your shock tube into your nylon nut and you lock that down and you run out your line for however far distance you need, 100 feet, 200 feet. And then you use the other end with your mechanical igniter. Go ahead and record. Okay. This is your laser sighter. Please notice that the way this works is it has an internal switch here. As this goes on the cannon, the switch pushes forward and turns your laser on. See? Laser on, laser off. It's on and off. So remove your replacement pin, slide your laser over, making sure you line your holes up. Your hole in your cannon will line up with your hole on your laser. Once that is done, you stick the pin in, and now your cannon and laser is turned on. By removing the pin, removing the laser turns off.